Alrighty, we are live from Columbus, OH, and this is youtube.com/coachstevemoney, and it is a bonus episode of the Ramsey Show Aftershow. Figured I'd do an after show for the content today. Normally after shows are just Tuesdays and Thursdays, but decided to do another one today. Okay, and we do have sound. What up, Trey? Mom call him Trey. Daddy call him Trey. I call him Trey. What up, Aslan? That's right. OHIO. You got it, Dr. Science. The very cringy Dr. Science, apparently. And for my financial content, you just go to my homepage, youtube.com/coachstevemoney, and you scroll down just a little bit, and you'll get to the answering your financial questions. That is the weekend stream, Saturdays and Sundays, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and 5:25 p.m. Tuesdays and Thursdays, and apparently some bonus ones like I'm doing today. That again, 5:25 p.m. Eastern Time, when the Ramsey Show leaves the YouTube and goes exclusively to the Ramsey Network app. And the music playlist has 11 Ramsey adjacent songs in there. Excuse me. Market report. Russell Small Cap Index up biggest today. Second of these particular indices would be the Dow Jones at 0.65 and at 0.27 and 0.26%, S&P 500, and the NASDAQ, a rare win for the S&P over the NASDAQ these days. Last 15 years, NASDAQ has kicked the S&P 500's butt. But because it's more tech stocks, and we're in the age of tech, and people love their tech, and so that's why this is going to keep going up. What else do we want to look at? Oh, let's check the rest of the world here. Everything up in Europe. Everything up in Asia as well. Let's see what the dollar bill is doing against the world. Euro up against the US dollar up against the Japanese yen, though. But the British pound, love, up against the US dollar. Canadian dollar up over the US dollar, but the US dollar is up over the Australian dollar, mate. Australia asked if they could be up today, and the US dollar said no. You cannot. Earnings calendar, who we got? Tomorrow, AMD reports on the 30th, Microsoft, MicroStrategy, Meta, the artist formerly known as Facebook there. And Halloween, we have Apple and Amazon reporting the most followed single stocks on the Google. Everything up today except Microsoft down 0.36 and Tesla down 2.48. Now they were up something like, what, like 9 something, 7 something or 9 something yesterday, or Friday rather, and so they gave some of that back, as you can see. Let's take a look, because I don't remember exactly what it was. Yeah, so you can see what happened here. When was this? On the 24th, and then it kept going for a little while. And then starting this morning, went up a little bit more, and then said, no, we're going to simmer down now. And so it came back off of that a little bit. See what the future's looking like. Everything up on the futures. Just barely for the NASDAQ futures, though. But we'll see what happens in the morning. There really is no correlation with futures and what it does first thing in the morning, because this could be way down and it could end up opening higher, and vice versa as well. Let's see if there's anything interesting in the news. Ford guides to low end of 2024 earnings forecast as it slightly tops Wall Street's third quarter. All right, so they're saying we're probably not going to make that much next quarter. So, but that still went up today, 2.71%, because they just reported today. So people won't be upset about them losing money until another 3 days or so, maybe, and then they'll start worrying about the next quarter. JP Morgan begins suing customers who allegedly stole thousands of dollars in an infinite money glitch. Interesting. Probably saw, I guess, something on their website. How you can do that. I mean, I have like seen where you can do that in some video games until they patch it. But let's see. Oh, McDonald's restaurants finally have a solution to the busted McFlurry machine problem, and this is a big national nightmare. So I'm going to click on that one to see what is up. Yo. Haven't been able to fix their ice cream on their own because manufacturing company Tyler owns the copyright and exclusive rights to fix the machines until now. United States Copyright Office said, bull crap. Copyright exemption on that, so the right to repair. There you go. And that's the whole thing. That was, I can't remember if there was any US legislation against Apple on that, but there was in the bloody UK, because they were so oh gosh, what is it when you have like basically you make your stuff so that only your company can fix it. You have kind of monopoly on it and so forth, and I forget what the word is for that, but interesting. Okay, so I guess they'll be able to hire third parties to fix it now. Anything else? Rare dime bought by Ohio family and hidden for decades sells for over $500,000. Wonder how much they bought it for, if it was already worth a lot by the time they bought it. Key ingredient in plant-based milk linked to colon cancer. Alrighty then. It's always something. It's always something. No matter what you try to fix, oh, let's make it healthier by doing this, then you're still going to get problems with it. Generally. Volkswagen might close 3 plants in Germany. And Elon Musk is sharing some details about his immigration path. Experts say they still have questions. Oh, did he immigrate? Maybe because he had lots of money. Maybe he got some special perks. Who knows? Who knows what happens? Catch up with the chat. Oh, so much chat that I need to catch up on. What up, Sid? What up, Mila? Over-approved people all the time. Yes, the banks will insist on loaning you way more money than they should, always. Oh, check fraud. Oh, okay. Sid must have looked at that article or heard something else about it. That was, where was that? That was JP Morgan. So Chase Bank. So check fraud. Alrighty. Yeah, you don't want to do check fraud. And probably Dave as well would not advise that. Well, yeah, Sid, you got to call it the infinite money glitch. You got to call it something new because, like, for example, the kids today, they just can't call it the envelope system. They have to call it cash stuffing. They have to come up with their own names for stuff all the time. Um, all right. Mila shooting for a house payment that is lower than the apartment that she's in right now, and so that's a good that's kind of good thing to shoot for. Or, if you're a single guy, you could want to like in the Ramsey show earlier today, if you're a single guy, you certainly want to go ahead and buy the 4 or 5 bedroom house, right? Even no girlfriend either, I don't think. And so, but he imagines he will have a family one day, and he wants to go ahead and get that all right now. Let's do everything right now is what everybody wants to do. And if they would just chill out, concentrate on one thing at a time, they would do much better for themselves. Dr. Science, a single guy, a single cringy guy, as we learned earlier. Yeah, what do you stuff it in if not an envelope? I guess they have little Gen Z purses and stuff. I don't know what they have. I don't pay that much attention. All right, let's get into some questions. How about that? Extra Ice 118, disabled vet making $7,200 a month in high cost of living area, looking to break spending habits and build a financial future. Advice? Well, I mean, 7,200 might be able to do it, but if you have a bunch of other debt and stuff, so that might not work out. Let's see. Disabled vet. Let's go and open the whole question. Disabled vet with 7,200 a month in untaxed income, around 4,300 from VA disability and 2,900 SSDI. Live in a high cost area. Living area. I'm navigating some tricky financial waters with $12,000 in credit card debt. So yeah, this is what I'm saying. That's the problem. Only $1,000 in savings, which that is actually correct. You're doing it correctly. $2,200 monthly rent. $500 car loan with 3 years remaining. Oh gosh, what is that? 500 times 12. What is that? $6,000. That's $18,000, not including interest, probably. Or maybe including interest. That's $18,000. You could sell that car and get a very cheap car. That would help it some. But I mean, you got to pay off that credit card debt. You want to get rid of that. And that way you have fewer issues once you're trying to do, what is it you're trying to do? After I graduate, so in some kind of school though. So no age here, so I'm assuming not a real senior type of vet, but definitely a veteran. I've also got $76,000 in student loans, which the VA will discharge after I graduate. Okay, so I'm maxing out my borrowing to take advantage of this discharge option. No spouse, and I have 1 kiddo at home. All right. Recently discovered Dave Ramsey's content, and I know he'd probably say to pay down debt ASAP. That is correct. That's my goal too. Knock out debt first, then start saving for a house. I'm aiming to save around $10,000 down as a down payment, even though I know VA loans can be 0 down. Yep, that is smart. But also you got to do the full emergency fund before you start saving for the down payment, my friend. Once I start working, I'll lose the SSDI income. Well, you got to make more than that. So 2,900, you want to make 2,900 a month at least doing your job. So I'm thinking careful about how to set myself up for the future. For context, this income level is new since June. So I'm adjusting my budget and spending habits, eating out, events, vacations that have kept my savings low. Does that mean you're not doing that anymore? That would be great. Any advice from those who've been in similar situations on balancing debt So you don't balance debt, you pay it off. There's no balancing it. You pay it off, and then you save the full emergency fund, and only after you have the full emergency fund do you start saving cent one for a house down payment, and keep spending and always keep spending in check. Yes. So again, it's not balancing debt. I don't know. You said it was that. I mean, how recently did you discover that? And he says to pay down debt ASAP. So what's this balancing debt crap is what I want to know. So, I mean, maybe that's just what he calls it, and that does mean paying off to him. I don't know. But anything like that, when I see stuff like that, I got a feeling he's trying to financial bro finesse it, and which means basically not follow the advice and try to do it a better way, thinking he can find a better way to do it than the kind that David's been giving for 30 years and has millions of documented success stories. We're talking about their houses that they have already. Very nice. What is... Oh. I'll be right Alrighty, sorry about that. Maintenance man came by and look at the my bathtub faucet. It sometimes leaks after like you use it and then turn it off. Sometimes I guess it makes a good seal and stops, and sometimes it doesn't. And so I did not know that the chat would show up on that be right back screen. Fun. Catching up with the chat. It's great to be back, Mila and Dr. Science. Thank you so very much. Alrighty, where were we? Oh. Where did it go? Did I close that? Oh, I think I was done. I'm done with that. So go to the next one. Yeah, you want to get that debt paid off and not balance the debt. You want to make the balance of the amount of debt to go to zero is what you want to do. DK8325, pay off student loans or put down a large down payment. That would be different baby steps, sir. Baby step 2 is right here. Pay off all debts from smallest to largest. That would be your student loans. Now, putting a large down payment can't happen until you save up a large down payment, which that doesn't happen until 3B. So guess what? You have to finish step 2 and step 3 before you can start to save a down payment either. Otherwise, you're doing it wrong. So Stardust has some general backstory and info, not needed, I'm sure. None of it's going to change the order of the baby steps, but let's just see what's up. 31 man and wife 27 female have $166,000 in student loans combined. I have many regrets about this, but here we are indeed. We used to live in a high cost of living area since we worked in our career fields with some connections we received from our graduate schools. However, after we learned my wife was pregnant, we relocated to where my parents live last year and moved in with them. We lived off my sole income, and my wife took an year off of work to be with our newborn, since it's something she really wanted to experience, right? We don't think about wanting to stay home with babies when we sign for student loans, do we? No, we do not. Now she's starting to begin working again, all right? Combined, our incomes are $180,000 a year, gross. We've been saving and have $90K in a high yield savings account that we're planning on using for our down payment. You're doing it wrong. The student loans go first. So you don't buy a house while you still have non-mortgage debt. And student loans are non-mortgage debt. So that's a no from Mr. Ramsey. If there was an Australian Dave Ramsey, he would say no. Saving $10K a month, budgeting and by staying with my parents. However, I wanted to give a large down payment on a home around for sale around $450, so our payments would be around $2K to $2,500, and use the rest to aggressively pay off our student loans. That's the wrong order, my friend. However, it occurred to me, crazy, I hadn't thought about this before, that maybe we should pay off our loans right now. RN, yeah, definitely. Definitely pay off your loans, RN. We could do this by June of 2025. Yeah. And then save for another 5 months, have $50K and buy a home with 5% down conventional loan. 10% is the minimum that Mr. Ramsey advises. 20% gets you out of having to pay PMI. Let's see. To have a mortgage payment around $3K to $3,500. Our net is $12K a month. I feel like Oh, he gave gross up there. So, okay. So $12K a month is net. So mortgage payment at that range would only be 33%, and we'd have no other debts. 33 is still too much, more than it should be. Should be around 25%. Definitely having no other debts. But see, the problem is you first have to have a full emergency fund before you start saving for the down payment. So everything you're doing is bad. You're doing it in the wrong order. And so that's a no on this plan. If you'd like Mr. Ramsey's advice. However, my wife is she feels like for her, naturally uncomfortable being here, living with my parents for so long, and I'd like to move out too, so I came here for feedback or suggestions. Rent, do the baby steps correctly, would be the Ramsey advice, sir. Imagine that. He got, what did it say? I hadn't thought about this before. However, it occurred to me, crazy I hadn't thought about this before, that maybe we should pay off our loans right now. Have you glanced at the baby steps, sir? That is step 2. Full emergency fund is step 3. Investing is step 4, and in between those, baby step 3B right here, it doesn't say it. But that is where you save for a down payment. So people always want to do it wrong. They want to do it out of order, and they want to do everything all at the same time. Humans, am I right? So no large down payment, not now. It should be large when you do put it down, though, large as you can get it. But yes, you are in step 2. Step 2. Sorry, you're in step 2. Roscoe Pico train. Woof. All right. I don't know where the woof comes from, but Roscoe and then the middle initial P. So it's not Pico train. It's Roscoe P. Coltrane. Was the character's name on the Dukes of Hazzard. That was the deputy, I think. Just started baby step 1 in the bloody UK, so we're paying off lots of quid. Hi all, great to be here and get some advice from everyone as I work through the baby steps. So currently on baby step 1 in week 1 of my journey, I've managed to get together 590 bloody quid so far in my emergency fund, which I have placed in an ISA with my bank, so at least it will be earning a little interest as we go. So this is a no. Again, you do not. ISA is their freaking what is that? IRA, I think. I can't remember. I don't think that's a liquid thing. So guess what? If it's your emergency fund, it has to be liquid. So I don't know that you can do that. But yeah, ISA is, I think it's like their IRA. A little interest as we go. And so earning the little interest as we go, people get all into that. And all that, well, I want to make, they start min-maxing everything. What you have to do is be interested in more money by you working more or cutting expenses, and that is a lot better than earning a little interest as you go. See, I'm looking to get to the 1,000 bloody pounds within the next day weeks, and then start looking at my debts. Debt 1 is my credit card with a balance of 500 quid, which I think I could clear in 3 weeks. Okay, 1 down, 4 to go. Debt 2 is okay. You haven't done anything yet. You haven't done it yet. So you can't say 1 down, 4 to go. In your little plan, in your little mind, it is. But again, overthinker. Do stuff to get through the baby steps. Don't just try to scheme and scam and stuff like that. All people want to do that all the time. I understand thinking about it. You want to think about it, but like this, where you make a big deal and post it on the Reddit, that's far too much. Doing this when you could be doing other stuff, cutting expenses and bringing in more income of some type, selling stuff or something like that. And that's a lot more than trying to get a little bit of interest on it. Let's see. The 2 is another credit card, balance of 8, which again, hoping I can get cleared quickly. Right? You typing it here means nothing. You have to be able to do it. And so just do it. After that is 3 big ones. Okay, a lot of money. Doesn't matter how much. But this be paid off quickly. Yes, you're supposed to do it as quickly as possible. So you don't have to say that after each one of them. I've already asked for settlement balance, which they have quoted at $4,100 at present. Okay. You're not going to pay it off now, so it won't be that. It'll be more than that. Debt 4 is around $3,000. Is an old credit card, which is now with a debt agency and on a very small payment plan. Yep. I mean, that a debt agency, if that's like a collection agency, then if it works the same way it does here, you could put that last after all your current debts, after you get all those paid off. And then you can work with a settlement to try to settle it cheaper. But if you're on a very small payment plan already, maybe that's already worked out and they're going to get a bunch of money from you getting very small payments and having that live on forever and continue to get interest. 24 quid per month payment. Debt 5 is around. Okay. All right. Bored with all your totals. Sorry, sir. Both of these last 2, I'm not sure if I'm better off paying full amounts or I'm just paying as much as I can each week. Yes, you pay it off as much as you can each week. It's less interest that way. Or should I get settlement figures from them? The settlement figures is how much you owe with the interest up to date. Now, if it's from a collection agency, if it's in collections, you... Don't know if I swallowed a bug there or what. Jeez. I didn't feel anything going in my mouth or see anything. Weird. Where are we at? Oh, if it's in collections, you can sometimes settle for less than the amount that you actually owe. Save the money and pay up the settlement figure. Once that money is saved up, thank you for taking the time to read. You are welcome, Ross. How's Rachel? You are so very welcome for me reading it. Thank you for providing the content. But I mean, that's great. You know your numbers, apparently. So you looked at the numbers, so you know what they are, and you got a plan. I mean, and you pay it off as soon as possible. You don't save up money and then pay it all off. You don't do that. Like I said, if it's in collections, you can just pile up money and then call them when you have a pile of money and offer a settlement. Offer amount to settle the payment, the debt in full, excuse me. So I wonder if I guess Dukes of Hazzard showed in the UK at some point. Maybe they're just getting it now. Who knows? Maybe it's #1 on their Netflix. I do not know. I said individual savings account. Right, I knew that's what it stood for, but I thought it was similar to the IRA, as opposed to just being a bank savings account. I thought it was something different, like tax advantaged or something like that. I'll look it up after the show and see exactly what it is. Don't feed the trout. Planning. My wife and I, everybody wants to plan. My wife and I are in the midst of a windfall inheritance of sorts. Okay, congratulations. Both are approximately 40 years old. Currently, no consumer debt. Fabulous. No car payments. Fabulous. $300K left on the house. Fabulous. You can pay that off with a windfall inheritance, I'm assuming. Because, I mean, you're going to bother to use the word windfall. I'm thinking it's a lot of money, but guess it might not be. 10-month-old, likely one and done. About 80K in Ross and 401Ks at present. Her mom and my grandma both passed this year. Her mom left us about 200K. My grandma's share will be about 430K after my uncle liquidates her estate in 2 to 5 years. Okay, so that's the long game on that one. My plan is to first front load the kids 529 over 2 years and let it grow. No debt, no car payment, so just the house debt. You should be putting extra to the house, though, in addition to putting money into the 529. Put some repair money into the house, then pay off the mortgage with my grandma's inheritance comes in. Yeah, I don't know. I'm waiting for that. You never know what could happen for that. That's not 100% guaranteed. Something could go wrong with it. You don't know. So I'm not waiting just to see if you get that money for 2 to 5 years. So that's not the idea of the baby steps. How about you use your money to pay it off, if you can pay it off in 5 years before you get that money. And then when you get that money, then you can use it for whatever dumb crap you were trying to do otherwise. Which is like, front load the kids 529. That's fine, but 10 months old, you don't have to. You should be putting the majority of extra money into the mortgage instead to save that interest, instead of put it in the 529 and try to make more money that way. Curious Stranger 657. Any Europeans with success stories? I'm sure there are. I'm new here. Only started today reading a book. Okay. Well, books are great. Hi all. Hi guys. Anyone from Europe have any experience with Day's methods? I am completely new and just started learning and reading. By the way, forums rules helped a lot. Not trying to disobey them. God bless you all. Yeah. People in Europe have done it, and the basic tenets work with it. What would be different would be, your taxes are going to be different, but that's not included in the baby steps. Your investment accounts, your tax advantaged investments accounts would have different names there, but otherwise the same advice works. Boom, 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 boom. Let's see. Don't have a television in our bedroom, just one in the house. The bedroom is in the house, right, Sid? Granted, we both have screens on our phone, and my laptop can stream. Trey says, I try to limit her screen time. Who? Sid's? Just kidding. He's talking about his daughter. Homeboy needs to do the math on this 529 contributions rather than guessing. Yeah. Retire abroad. J to the Mac. Okay, retire abroad. That's not good, but women can retire as well. Just kidding. We have no kids, so thinking about the expat life for retirement. Okay? Any real information out there that helps with cost? Oh, no. Don't know. I would imagine there might be blogs about that, about cost of living in different countries. And you also want to investigate, is the cost of living really low down there? But also, are cartels in charge of the government? That's what you might want to look into with retiring abroad. I'm sure there's some very nice, safe places out there, but that's the kind of thing you would want to check. And you would like the government to be stable. You would like it to, even if a cartel is not in charge now, you would like the possibility of them all of a sudden one day getting mad at the government and saying, okay, we're taking over this stuff. You want to have that down to a very, very low possibility of doing that as well. Retire wife at 55 and me at 50. I'm sure you would. In about 5 years right now. Sell everything with a net worth at that time about $1.25 million. And I'm sure there's countries that would be great in. I don't know that that would last you the rest of your lives, though. And so that's why the whole retire early thing isn't necessarily advised. It's just like buying a house. You don't buy a house on all these other conditions, market condition, etc., etc. You buy a house when you can afford it. You retire when you can afford it. And so you got to make sure you have enough money to, I mean, you guys could live to 100. Who knows? And that's half of your life. That's 50 more years. And so what are you going to do? So you got to leave some in investing. But yeah, there's lower cost of living countries out there for sure. Critical term 427. I hate myself. I hate myself for loving you. Can't break free from the things that you do. I hate myself and don't know why I keep getting. Okay, they didn't put it in a good phrasing that would fit the song. And don't know why I keep getting in these situations and don't know what to do. Possibly your fault, possibly just bad luck. Let's see. I don't understand why I can't manage money. Please help. Long story short, and it's not short enough because I have to open up the rest of the story. I'm Paul Harvey. Good day. He was a radio guy way back in the day, kids. Long story short, my husband and I are in our late 30s, 2 kids, and have absolutely nothing financially to show for it. We have struggled to manage money our entire relation, and I don't know how to fix it. Fills me with despair. I don't know what to do practically to fix the behavior issues around money. Okay, well, if you know that they're there, that's a good start. It's a start. And it's even more depressing because 1 year ago we sold our old home and made a profit of over $120,000. Now, where did that go? After paying off all our debt, putting a down payment on a new home, and putting $10,000 in savings, 1 year later we are back to being dead again and zero in savings. Now, how did that happen? That was probably too much spending on stuff. So depressing. I feel like such a failure. Please help me/us. We don't know what to do. Our total debt, not including our mortgage, is $36,000. 1 year later. So you have $10,000 in savings, and so now you're negative. So you should have $10,000 in savings, which you started with, and now you're 36. So that means whatever you bought was $46,000 then, if all the savings is gone as well. Household income, $95K gross. $2,300 per month net. And that is 25%. Is that, what is that? 20 that would be 2,000 divided by, oh, Sid, do the math for me. Where are you, Sid? Let's see, hold on. So divided by 4, 6,250 divided by 4, so it would be like 1 something. So that's too much mortgage. So if that's on a 30-year, bad. So maybe sell the house. Car loan, $330 per month, $16,800 total. Sell the car. You just undo it all. Sorry that you want that car. That's a no. Sorry that you want that too expensive house. That's a no as well. Sorry. You can't do everything all at the same time, as you have found out. Credit cards. So car loans, credit cards, personal loan, a new air conditioner. You cannot do all this stuff all at the same time. So bought too much house on top of it, which just makes everything worse. So you have to do drastic things to fix this, because this is a drastic problem here. You are very house poor. Depresses me, we can't ever get this figured out. Well, you do get it figured out, and your answer is debt. And that should not be. It does not say here on baby step 0, because it's not listed, and it's not listed on Dave's list either. Baby step 0, part of that is saying, I'm going to pay off my dumb debt, which you decided and did, but also that you say you're not going to take out debt for anything ever again, except maybe a house you live in, and you're going to not be house poor. And you did not keep that part of it. You did part of it by paying it off to begin with, but then you didn't say, and I'm not going to take out any more. And so the way to do this is to not take out any more. Zero savings, zero retirement, and constantly living on the razor's edge with one emergency way from ruin. Yeah, because you went back into debt. It's causing fights and stress in our marriage. I'm sure it is. We have no discipline at all. I don't know how to fix it. If you can't tell yourself no, no, no. I mean, what do you do if it's a child and they don't listen to you? I mean, they need some kind of counseling then, right? If like the normal stuff doesn't work, I'm going to take your screens away. That kind of thing. If that normal stuff doesn't do, or, you know, or you can't be on screens, is what worked with my son, because he loved his screens. But if none of the normal stuff works for disciplining kids, they need some kind of counseling or something. So, and you know how bad it is. You're complaining about it now. So it needs to be so bad that you do not ever go into debt, that you do everything you can to pay this debt off. And that may include selling the house and renting for cheaper. And so you cannot do everything all at the same time. And especially you did everything correctly up until you went back into dumb debt. Dumb. Don't do that. Don't do that. So you had everything paid off, and then after that got a car loan. And and after you sold the house, you bought a new house that was too much. Dumb. And then credit cards. And then a personal loan. And then your AC went out. So you cannot do all of this at the same time, because the amount you're making per month is limited. So you are limited. Sound like QVC guy, right? A limited edition. Please help fix this. I'm an open book. We've got to answer any questions and listen to any and all advice. I'm open to any suggestion you will offer. Sell the car, sell the house. Pay off your debt, and do not ever take out debt ever again for any reason whatsoever. Particularly interested in hearing from people who've been in my situation before and turned it around. Ideas, advice, strategies. Fortunately, I wasn't. I got tired of paying the interest before it got to that point. So, but, I mean, this is how a lot of people do it, because I don't know, they're delusional, totes delulu, because they think, oh, well, we'll just get this on credit, we'll put this on credit, or get this one car loan, and then nothing else will happen, and then we'll pay this off, and then we won't do anything else. But that's not how it works, is it, sweetie? No, it's not. So you got to discipline yourself. You have to say, you know how bad this is, or you wouldn't have posted it on the Reddit. So, and if neither of you have any self-control at all, then you need some counseling, for sure. So, I mean, unfortunately, there's no magic to this, but you can reduce your debt owed by a lot by selling the house. And it's only been a year. Hopefully, it's gone up in appreciation a lot since then, hopefully. And then you can pay off some of that debt with the proceeds, and then you rent. Gosh, I mean, where do you think the money would be coming from all of that? Why would you sign up for that? And I mean, you should do at least enough math to know that, oh, that doesn't add up. And then even if you do need a new AC, 119 per month, 10,000 months total, or 10,000 total. Even if that happens, you find another way other than going into debt. So I don't know what to tell people like this. I mean, if you don't have the self-control to not do something that you know 100% for sure is bad, you are either really, really dumb or you're a spending addict, and in either case, you need counseling. My goodness. Don't understand why I can't manage money. Please help. You understand it all. You laid it out very clearly. Did you not look at it at all while it was happening? You didn't look at it at all? But I mean, people just get the debt band-aid and put it on some debt band-aid on that. And then, but this will be all we do. Well, this will be all the debt will do, and it's just this one bandit. And then something else happens, and then all of a sudden you think you need a car, and there you go. And so that is crazy. Like I said, dumb or spending addict, and counseling in both cases. He's at $32.70 a month after all the expenses he posted. But he needs to have some control. Indeed. The first number he gave was gross, and then for annual was gross, and then for net he gave. So maybe still, although they said he didn't have any in retirement, I think. So not maybe too much coming out of the for taxes as well. And, so they can get that big refund once a year. Let's see. Dazzling basket, $48.48. Americans spend about $13K on car-based transportation a year. I wanted to help, so I wrote this. Okay. Hi, folks. At the high point, I had $35K in debt, was earning $40K a year, living in the San Francisco Bay Area. That's not going to cut it, and the debt there is not going to cut it either. Terrifying, indeed. I was able to get out from under that in about 18 months, actually. Okay. That's not how it actually works. One of the key things that helped me was not spending $13K a year in car costs. I want to help others, so I wrote a guide to using folding bikes plus car to save on parking and other car costs. Okay. All right. So, I mean, you can do that. And you can find, if you're interested in that, you can find this on the Reddit. But folding bikes plus the car to save on parking and other car costs. Does that mean you are parking the car somewhere that's free, way away, and then riding your bike? You got to account for rain and so forth when you do that as well. But that person thinks they're helping, so you may help somebody. Never know. Bomb diggity. Okay. Because diggity would have 2 G's in it. Tax mitigation. I have $48,000 emergency fund. Is there a place that I can put that money to decrease my tax burden but still have access to the cash in case of emergency? No. That's your savings. You've already paid taxes on that. So you're trying to use that amount of money to lower your tax burden. That's a no. We don't do that. acceptable lobster. So once you are in a situation where you actually have an estate planner, then I would pose that question to them if you're still interested in doing that. But quit trying to do all the little tricks. But I don't know of one where your emergency would be liquid. I mean, where your money would be liquid, but would somehow give you decrease your tax burden. I don't know of anything like that. But maybe once, if they put you all into, if you're an LLC or something like that, eventually, then maybe limited liability corporation for tax purposes. Maybe eventually something in there might do that. But otherwise, just be smart with money. Don't try to skim every little cent. Like George was talking about on the Ramsey show today. It's like, if it's people changing savings, people changing high yield savings for like 0.2% a year. Okay, great. You mean $10 a year. Great. Need help, everyone. Acceptable lobster. 32. I think we should accept all lobsters. Hello everyone. Hi guys. I'm living outside the US. How dare you? And really like the Dave Ramsey method, but there is one thing I'm just so confused about, and it's the whole mutual fund aspect of things. I don't know if to look for mutual funds that match the categories. And my other question is, didn't even understand that one. And my other question is, what about investing in ETFs instead? What you don't want to do is, for retirement, do index funds, because you can find managed funds that beat the index. And so by doing index funds, you are leaving money on the table. So that's a no. I mean, you have US, EFTS, global ETFs, and everything in between. And you just need to get the ETF part out of your head. People always get bogged down by that. It doesn't matter if it's an ETF. That just means exchange traded fund. So you don't need to know that. You just do a managed mutual fund in each category. Small, mid, large cap, and international are the more common names for it than Dave uses. And you make more money in managed mutual funds. You have to put in some work maybe to find the right ones that make more than the index funds themselves, but they are out there. Trust me. I just don't know if I'm getting things wrong by thinking about ETFs instead. Yes, you are. So now, if you say ETFs too much, you've been looking at too much financial bro advice and stuff. Let's see. Instead, and some stocks in the side instead of a mutual fund. No, there's no single stocks. Too much, not diversified enough. Too much risk in single stocks. Do not do that. If you like Apple, if you like Coke, if you like whatever kind of stock, you can just get a mutual fund that has those stocks in it. It'll have those and more, and so that there's a good chance. If Apple's down that particular day, another one, like in a nice large cap stock, will have Microsoft in it too. And then when Apple's down, maybe Microsoft is up, and vice versa. And so that is what we call diversity. And so you don't have to try to, get one stock. Oh, I'm going to get this stock when it's low. Like when Lieutenant Dan invested the Bubba Gut money into Apple. And they made a fortune through that. You're trying to do that. Don't try to do that. That mostly doesn't happen. Timex Dude 755, bigger car needed. Let's see if I agree. Have a Corolla, 2 kids, and a car seat. Nope. We want to plan for a 3rd kid. Nope. Corolla back seats can fit 3 kids in it. I'm thinking a minivan. Of course you are. Wife is stay at home. I'm 6 months of saving. Should I stop 401k contributions, save cash for a family car? No, the Corolla is fine. Should I bite the bullet for car payments due to my fixed limited income? No. Now, when is going to be car payments? When is that going to be Dave's advice? People are so dumb. I'd really like to go smaller car seats to put 3 in the back, but my wife hauls the kids around. What does that mean? What does that got to do about it? What does that got to do with it? Yeah, Corolla can fit 3 as it has the anchor points for it. Yes, that's right. It can. So quit your crap. What would Dave do? He would quit your dumb crap saying that you need a bigger car. You don't need it. Dumb. SB7894. Should I sell a rental or not? Normally, by the time you're asking, that would be yes. Otherwise, you wouldn't be asking. If everything was great, why would you be asking? I'm considering selling one of my rental properties and put funds into a managed account. The tenant is moving in December. The home nets about $1,000 a month after all expenses. If you need to put a roof on there, all that profit's gone. I would have $200,000 to put in a managed account. Just looking for some advice or options. There's much less risk with it. Now, so the home nets $1,000. So if that's all it nets, then probably you don't own the property. Probably you have a mortgage on it. And that's not the advice either. So I would sell it for sure. Because that's the least amount of risk to you. Otherwise, like I said, one roof, that takes all of this, $12,000 a year. $12,000 a year. And one roof will take away all that from your profit for that. And guess what? While that's happening, you still have to pay the mortgage on it if you have a mortgage on it. It doesn't say, but I'm guessing because you would hope it would make more money if he was not making a mortgage payment on it as well. And a $200,000, it says $200,000, so is that just the equity in it? I don't know. I mean, it's possible they're not paying that much rent as well. So who knows? But again, the least amount of risk would be for you to sell it. And so unless you have multiple properties, so apparently you know how this works. So you would probably understand all this better than I would, not having been a landlord, but I do not want to be a landlord. That seems like way too much work and way too much risk for me. Now, again, if you buy the property in full cash or you previously bought them mortgaged and now they're paid off, you can potentially make good money on that, but $1,000 seems low. I mean, and that may be after all expenses. You may be paying a property manager to manage that for you, and then that's going to take the net down as well. So who knows what your exact situation is. But I would say if you're even thinking about doing it, and I mean, what is it for? It doesn't say why either. So I'm wondering why you're thinking about it, but just the fact that you're thinking about it tells me you want either more security or you want to use the money for something else. And so that is the dealio. Alrighty. Once more, I am Coach Steve Money. And if you want me to yell at you as well, I will be more than happy to do that. Schedule a free financial coaching consultation / assessment with me at calendly.com/CoachSteveMoney. And you can do that at calendly.com/CoachSteveMoney. I said that already. You can email me about coaching or anything else on my YouTube channel at CoachSteveMoney@gmail.com. Donations can go to paypal.me/CoachSteveMoney. Cash App to $CoachSteveMoney. Walmart gift card to CoachSteveMoney at gmail.com. Also, super chats on live videos, super thanks on recorded videos. Upcoming streams answering your financial questions. Saturdays and Sundays, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, unless there's a Buckeyes or Commanders game on at that time. The Ramsey Show after show today was a bonus one. Those are going to be Tuesdays and Thursdays for sure. 5:25 until further notice. 5:25 p.m. Eastern Time, and on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays there's going to be Ramsey Show chat refugee streams with some kind of content. Could be a bonus after show like it was today. Could be some other type of content or no content at all. And just a place where we type. Alrighty. So thanks everybody for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment. And as always, oops. Always forget. There we go. I gotta scroll it up so you can see make smart financial decisions every day.